Their profile picture is a sunset, or a cartoon, or just completely blank. They comment. They watch. They're online every single day, but you will never see their face. And the people around them ask, "What are you hiding?" But that's entirely the wrong question. Most people assume that someone who doesn't post their face online is either insecure, antisocial, or hiding something. Psychology says something completely different. In fact, people who choose to keep their face off social media tend to share a set of traits that are increasingly rare in today's world, and surprisingly powerful. This isn't about fear. For most of them, it's about something much deeper than that. The first thing psychologists notice about this group is an exceptionally high need for what's called psychological privacy. Not just physical privacy, but control over how they are perceived by others. For these individuals, their face is deeply personal. It carries identity, vulnerability, and emotion. And placing it into a public, uncontrollable digital space where anyone can screenshot, share, or judge triggers a real threat response in their brain. This is linked to something called self-concept clarity, how clearly and consistently a person understands their own identity. Research shows that people with high self-concept clarity are far less dependent on social validation. They don't need the likes. They don't need the comments. They already know who they are. The second trait is heightened social awareness. People who don't post their face are often extremely perceptive about how social media works, the performance of it, the curated highlights, the anxiety underneath the filters. They see it clearly, and they quietly choose not to play. That's not weakness, that's pattern recognition. Now here's where it gets really interesting. For some people, never posting their face began as a boundary, but over time it became an identity, a quiet form of resistance in a world that demands constant visibility. In a culture where people document every meal, every milestone, every emotion, choosing not to perform your life online is an increasingly radical act. Psychologists who study digital behavior have found that people who maintain strong offline to online boundaries report significantly higher levels of self-esteem and lower levels of social anxiety. They're not avoiding the world. They're just refusing to let the world define them through a screen. And for others, especially people who experienced any kind of public humiliation, family dysfunction, or early trauma, keeping their face offline is a protection mechanism. So if you've never posted your face online and people have made you feel strange or secretive for it, you're not hiding. You're protecting something that matters. Your identity, your energy, your right to exist somewhere that isn't being watched, judged, or consumed. In a world that profits from your attention and your image, choosing what you share and what you keep for yourself might be the single most psychologically healthy decision you make all day. You're not invisible because you're afraid. You're invisible because you understand exactly how much your visibility is worth. If this video felt accurate, a lot of the same people find themselves in both videos. It's right there. Take a look when you're ready.